Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is Praveen here. I hope you guys are extremely doing good. So before going into the week 3, day 12 of Linux freshers and experienced session, I would like to tell you all that we have already started the 100% job ready Prime 4.0 DevOps and SRE course. You will get 12 plus real-time hands-on projects. Every session will be 3 hours each. In that, you will get 2 hours of theory and 1+ hour of project session. And you can definitely check out all the data in this link. So I will just give a glimpse. So prerequisites, there are no prerequisites needed. It is beginner friendly. Eligibility, freshers and experienced. Anyone can join this Prime 4.0, 12 plus real-time hands-on project, preparation for mock interviews, resume sessions, feedback, job assistance, everything. Classes will start from 2nd September, 8+ weeks, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. And as you all know that we are running the mega sale, in that you will get 50% of huge discount, and it is valid for next few hours. So once you click the enroll now, you will automatically see that you are getting a coupon code of 50% discount. And if you see, my students have got placed in various top product-based companies: Amazon, Walmart, Zynga, NEC, Infosys, Deloitte, and these are just the logos. If you come down, you will see all the syllabus and the project details. And if you click on this, you will be directed to all my students where they were talking about the previous batches, and you will see what are the tools covered, and you will see various kinds of other companies: NAB, Nokia, Techolution, Global Logic, right? And if you see, this picture is taken by me in Walmart itself, and Deloitte, KSA, right? Permanent work from home opportunity, Airtel, right? And you can see all the testimonials down, and you will also get the beautiful completion of certificate, right? And you are seeing how the students are telling about this course. So that's all for this course. Join within next few hours, because we are running the Independence Day sale, right? 50% off on Prime Bash 2.4.0, and you will get the blast content. I am guaranteeing that. Now let's go ahead. I hope you are clear with that, and August 50 is the code you have to apply. So let's go ahead and start our class. So let's talk about what is all about Linux, why Linux is very much important. As you all know that I have already cracked your 20+ organizations, and this I have cracked with the help of Red Hat certified system administration certification, which is very, very much important. Now, whatever I am going to teach for next 20 minutes, it will be based on my certification experience, how I have cleared the certification and all those things, and also based on my interview experience. So watch the video till then. Now, the following steps, if you see, basically interviewer will ask, what is the Linux booting process? You need to tell upfront and confidently, very, very simple. And if you imagine like a house with, let's take like 5 rooms, you will assume that your first room is your entrance and your last room is your exit or your kitchen. Let's assume that this is how you come 1 2 3 4 5. Let's assume that this is your home, and your home is resembling here the Linux system. Now let's see like what are the process once you enter your home, or once you click on this on button in the Linux, what will happen, right? The step 1 I have assumed as the steps, and very, very much important. Step 1, the computer BIOS performs post. Now BIOS is basic input output, right? So basically BIOS is basic input output system, checks where it will perform the power on self test. So basically what it does is, this BIOS will probe, right, all the hardwares of the system, like your keyboard, your monitor, right, and your hard disk. Now what does this mean? Why it does? It does the probing because it want to check before starting the system whether my components are correct or not, right? So it's the same as you enter the house and you check like everything is good or not, right? So BIOS is checking all your system components. If everything is good, then it is going to the step 2. Very, very much important. It's similar like checking the things and then going forward. If anything is wrong, I hope you remember many times there will be a beep command in your Linux box or in your laptop, right? 1 beep, your monitor is gone. 2 beeps, your hard disk is gone, right? So I hope you have listen that. Right now, step 2, BIOS reads the MBR. Now, what is MBR? Now, once the BIOS reads the data, now BIOS completes its post check. Right after that, it reads the MBR. Now, MBR is basically master boot record. Now, what this master boot record is basically? Master boot record is basically a partition in the Linux file system, right? And it will have different types of partition. In that, the first partition will be called as your MBR. In MBR also, there are many kind of partition, like 3-4 partitions will be there, but the first partition will be helping us to select the bootable device. Now, the system check is done, then the MBR is called. The MBR will call the type of bootable device. Now, what is the type of bootable device? There are 2 types of bootable device, Lilo and Grub. Now, in all the latest Linux systems, we are using Grub. Now, what is Grub? Let me explain you in clear. Grub is basically Grand Unified Bootloader. Grand Unified Bootloader. So basically, if you understand, this is basically booting up of the Linux system. Now, when you click on switch on your laptop, your BIOS gets started, your booting process gets started, and then what happens? You see, the Grub2 is initialized. Grand Unified Bootloader loads the VM Linux kernel image. Now, see, this initialized the Grub. Grub initializes the kernel. Now, kernel is nothing but your Linux OS. Very, very simple, very, very sweet, and very, very beautiful concept. Now, once the kernel initializes the OS operating system, now, if you have seen in the laptop, if you have 2 OS, right? Sometimes what happens, you have the eligibility to select. Suppose you have Windows 7 and you have Windows 8, you have the eligibility to select which version of installation of OS has to be done. So similarly, if you have more than 2 kernels or 3 kernels, this kernel will ask us to select the OS. Now, once you select the OS, loads necessary driver modules from init.rd. Now, once you select the kernel, let's take kernel, you have version 1 and you have kernel version 2, right? And immediately you select the kernel version 1. Now, what this will do, if you don't select anything, it will take the default one. Now, once you select the kernel, now you see what is the steps it is going to perform. Load necessary driver modules. Now, if you remember D drive, C drive, F drive in your laptop, what it does, it has all your programmable files. The C drive is basically having your programmable files. Similarly, your drive modules will be updated, and basically from where it is starting, your init.rd, basically RAM file system, it will take all the data and start system file process. Now, once the driver modules are loaded, it will initialize all your system D related module, system D related data. Now, what is system D? Let me tell you. Now, I hope you remember, like we were using earlier time, systemctl start, maybe Apache, right? HTTPD, right? HTTPD, systemctl start, Nginx, right? Nginx, systemctl start, maybe you can say like some software like XYZ. Now, what does that systemctl mean? What we are telling when we are hitting systemctl is nothing but this systemd, right, actually starts all your systemctl processes. Now, systemctl is basically a process which will help all the processes on the system to run up and running basically. So systemd is the init command in the Linux system, which will start all the systemctl process, and all the processes will be up and running, and your system will be coming as a black screen to you, where you can do anything you need. See, systemd reads configuration files from etc systemd directory. There you get all your Linux file system data. Reads file linked by, see, default.target. So basically, systemd has various kinds of targets present. So based on that target, it will start your system, brings the system to the state defined in the target system. So that's what I was telling. So there are multiple targets in the systemd file, and according to this target, it will bring your system to that particular state, right? So I hope I am making it sense. Linux booting process, very, very much important. You should assume that your BIOS, then your MBR, master boot recovery or master boot record, then your Grand Unified Bootloader, then your kernel, then your systemd, right? And in between, you will have init process also. Very, very much important. And this anyone can ask. So you should be able to explain them in clear way, right? I hope I am making it sense. Let's go forward to the next slide. Let me close this. Now, in the next slide, very, very much important. I have kept all the commands for you at one place, guys. You don't need to see any video after this. I am guaranteeing that. So just be with me, like I will explain each of the command that is needed for you, right? Now, in the Linux, one of the important thing for a Linux administrator or a DevOps engineer or a SRE engineer is you should remember the commands. You should be able to remember the commands, right? Because all our systems are based on Linux. If you take Kubernetes, if you take Ansible, if you take your Jenkins installations, anything is based on your Linux only. And that's where all the important concepts come into picture, right? Very, very much important. Now, let's see. I have divided all the commands in various kinds of boxes. So let me take you one by one without wasting any time. Now, it is system related, guys. So system related means Linux related. You see, uname -a. Uname is basically username. U is basically user and name. Username -a. A means display Linux system information, right? Uname -a, uname -r, right? Uname -r, display kernel release information. Now, as I have told you in the last step, we have something called kernel, which is your OS. Now, if you want to see the OS related thing, then you will basically able to see what is all it is about, right? Uptime, very, very much important. Now, interviewer will ask, suppose you have a system. Now, how will you know how much time my system is up and running? So you need to use the command uptime, which will tell you this one, show how long the system has been running plus load. Very, very much important. Host name, show system host name -i. So basically this host name -i display the IP address. Sometimes host name gives the data like 10, host name gives like okay, let's take like xyz.com, right? This is your host name. And if you want the IP address, you will get something like this, 10.1. something like that, right? Last reboot, if you give last reboot, show system reboot history. Date is a command which you can use in your Linux systems. Shell scripting automation. Calendar, cal, right? Month of the calendar. W, who is online. Who am I hope you have used who am I. Very, very much important. Who are you as a logged in user? Finger user, display the information about users. This is all about your system related things. Very, very much simple. Uname -r, uptime, hostname -i, the calendar, the date, who am I, and all those things. Now, hardware related things. Again, this and this are your 5-star questions, and people can ask anything from these patterns. Now, DMESG, detected hardware and boot messages. It is not necessary, but yeah, if you know, that's very good. Now, these are very, very much important. Now, he will ask like where you will get the CPU information. You have to say cat/proc. Now, proc is a folder where all your system related, process related data is stored. Now, proc, that is why you are calling this as a proc. As we go ahead in the next slide, I will show you what are the file systems you have. Now, proc is a file system in Linux, which will have all your process related data. Okay, process. So you see CPU up info, basically CPU model, mem info, hardware memory, proc interrupts, list the number of interrupts per CPU or IO devices connected. LSHW, display information of hardware. HW is hardware. LS is basically list. LS is basically list, right? I hope you see ls-lr, right? List, ls-list the data, right? ls-lrta, right? So you see LSBLK, block, displays block devices related to information in Linux. Free-m, free memory in megabytes, right? Now you see LSPCI-TV. We are not using most of these two things. Don't worry about that. And this also we are not using. So if anyone is very much deep into understanding of your disks and all those things, they can use it. Now, show info about SDA, do a read speed test. So if you want to do any speed test, this I have not used, honestly. These 4 commands I have never used, but all these commands, whatever I have told you till here, I have been using in my organization. Now, if you want to see bad blocks, so this I have used basically. Now, if you have a basically a hard disk which is attached to your system and this is not properly working, then you can use bad blocks -s. So basically you are giving the file system name, right? Similarly, how you have C drive, D drive in the Windows, you have dev/SDA, dev/SDB/SDC. Now, file permission related things, very, very much important. You see, chmod is change, modify, right? Change, modify. Chmod octal file name, change the file permission of the file to octal number, right? Chmod change, modify 777. Now, what is numbering system? So basically these all are file for permissions. Read, so basically, okay, read, write, execute. Okay, I will tell you like this: read, write, execute. So read is always standing for 4, write is for 3, execute is for 1. So if you combine 4 plus 3 plus 1, what is the total value, guys? 7. Now, 7, when you are seeing in a file system, you say like chmod 777 file name. Suppose you are giving this, it means user, group, others. Now, 777 is related to 3 people or 3 data points here: user, group, and others. Now, what does this mean? When I am giving the file name as 777 value, it means user will have read, write, execute permission, right? Read is for 4, write is for 3, execute is for 1. Very, very simple. Any questions, comment down in the comment section. I'll be helping you. Let me clear the screen. Let me explain you in clear. What does this mean? So 777 always stands for your 7 stands for read, write, read plus write plus execute. Read is 4, 3, 2, 1, right? 4 plus 3. Okay. Read, write plus execute. I think I have told wrong. Read plus write plus execute, 4 plus 2 plus 1. Read plus write plus execute, 4 plus 2 plus 1. And this belongs to your 7. Now you see, 7 is basically your full what you call like full permission to user. Now, any user in the system who is given like 7, the logged in user will have the entire access on the file. This is basically user group. Now, all the users which are related to this group, right, are having the permission as execute, read, and write. And others also, not only on the file system, users who are in the system, if anyone is having the access and he's logging in, then also he will be having the access. Now, 744, it means 7 user is having full access. What else? The user group is having, okay, user is having full access, read, write, and execute. The group is having read and write. Okay. Okay, read and write, which is basically your okay, write, okay, read access only, and this is also having read access. Sorry, I'm making you confused. Let me explain you again. The 744 is basically 7 is full permission, which user can have. This is basically only read permission, and this is basically only read permission, right? Clear? Now, this is how it goes: 744, 741. If you see anything, this resembles this file permission, right? Now, let's go ahead. Now, you see 755. Now, you have to tell me what is that. 7 is full access. 5 is it has both read and execute, but not write access, right? Now, you see change owner. Chown is basically changing the owner of the file. Now, owner of the file, when you are changing from Praveen to your name, you have to give chown, the owner, user, and the file name, right? Change owner, user, and group. There is a command called chown. Username is Praveen, and other group name is Praveen, and the file name, if I give, the file will have group and user both. Chown, this is what the directory also we can do, right? Now, I hope I am making it sense. 421 read, write, execute. Okay. Now, you see network related things. If config-a display all network ports and IP address. If config ETH0 display the Ethernet port connected to the system. Now, similar to your laptop, you have a IP, like you have a cable getting connected here, right? Similarly, this is the Ethernet port. Ethernet status, ETH tool, ping. Ping is basically to check whether the host is working good or not, whether it is giving response or not. Who is domain? Get who is the information for domain. DNS information for domain. Dig is a command which you get with the help of get all the information with the help of dig related to your domain name system, right? And host, if you give host, and the domain name, you get all the details, right? And if you get wget file, wget, very, very important, guys. Curl and wget. Let me explain you here. Curl and wget, very, very much important. Both are used to download the data from a URL. Curl, hit the endpoint, get the data. Wget, hit the endpoint, get the data. But only difference is curl has various kinds of methods. Your get, put, post, delete, right? And wget is just getting the data, right? That is why it is wget, right? Netstat -tulp, list active connections to and from the system. Very, very much important. Hostname -i, and we have covered here, right? Display the IP address of the host, right? Let's move forward. Let's see like what are the things. Very, very long list is there. So you see user related data. If we are seeing the user related data, what are the things? User ID, last, show the active user ID, last, show last logins of the user, who basically who logged in the user. Group add, user add. Now group add is nothing but you are adding a group called Praveen to the Linux system, and this Praveen you are adding to a file. User add -, I am adding Sam Tomshi, right? And basically group is admin. You see, user delete Sam, user add Sam. User modify, you can modify the user details of the Sam, right? ls-al, many people have asked me. Now display all information about files and directory. ls is list, long list, A is all, right? -la, pwd, present working directory, mkdir to make the directory, rm is remove the file name, rm-r, recursive. Recursive means remove all the files from the directory. rm-f, forcefully remove, right? Copy file 1 to file 2. Copy -r, the directory 1 contents to directory 2. Move file 1 to file 2. ln-s, create the symbolic link, symlink. Touch, create a file. Cat, place standard input in a file. More, output contents of the file. Head, the first 10 lines. Tail, the last 10 lines. Head and tail, you remember, head and tail. Head is basically the first 10 lines of the of what you call like the file, and tail last 10 lines. Now tar, compress, format, home name -tar. So this is the tar file name, and what is the folder or the file we are trying to tar, right? This is basically tar xf, extract the files, right? czf, create the tar with gzip compression, right? And compress the file. rpm-i, this is basically install a package. I is basically install, right? rpm-i, the test.rpm, right? Red Hat package manager. rpm-e, remove the package. Now install from source. If you give any time like this test.sh, any data in this script, it will install. So basically this // is basically install the data from a file, right? grep pattern files, grep-r, locate file. So basically find all instances of the file. Grep, search for particular patterns. So you see grep -hi Praveen, right? Like I can say like this. Okay, let me put it like this. Cat Praveen.txt grep -hi hello. And whatever the data is there in the file Praveen.txt, it will be shown in the screen, right? Find, very, very much important, guys. Very, 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 very much important. Find, the command is used to check what are the files larger than 100K or 1000K or 10,000K. Find the directory name with size files greater than 1000K. Find / the directory name -size plus, if you give, it means more than 1000K, minus less than 1000K, right? SSH user, connect to the user. So basically what is the command? You see, I will make it up. Connect to a host as a user, SSH user at host, SSH-p port, connect to a specific port in the system, right? Let me clear the screen. Okay, very, very much important. Let's see like what are the things here present. Now GPG, right? Encrypt file -c, GPG. So WC I have used, GPG I have not used, XRs I have used. Very, very much important. Basically standard inputs, execute command lines from standard. So if you see Java -jar -x arguments, x504MB, this like this, we have given x2048M. So basically when you give the arguments from external to your jar, you use X arguments. You see, execute command lines from standard input, right? Now WC, print the number of bytes, words, lines in a file. So if you say cat hello.txt, right? And you say WC, it means it will give you all the data, the number of lines of the files. PS, display your currently active processes. You see PS-EF grep -hi hello.txt. So it means, or hello.jar. If you give, it will give you PS means current running processes. Very much important. And it will give you all the current running process data, right? PS aux grep telnet, find all the process ID related to telnet. So you see grep telnet, it will give me all the process ID related to telnet. Top command, very much important, display all running processes. Kill PID, kill process with mentioned PID. Kill all proc, kill all processes named proc. Kill process name, signal sent to a process with its name, right? BG, list stops background jobs, bring the most recent job foreground, and brings job end to the foreground. So basically this I have not used, remaining all I have used mostly, right? File transfer, very, very much important. SCP, file 1 to file 2, secure copy file to remote host. So what we are doing, SCP, secured connection protocol, the file 1 to server 2. Right? And you are sending it to temp folder, right? Okay, let me write it in a clear way. SCP file.txt server to the host name colon temp folder. So what we are doing, we are sending from server 1 this file to temp folder of server 2, right? Rsync. Now rsync is one more command. Rsync, synchronize source to destination when you want to have the data sync in sync, right? df-h, display all the disk free. Df is disk free in human readable format. H, disk free -i, right? Show I nodes, very much important. Disk free -i. I nodes are very much important in Linux system. So I nodes, if you see ls-lrta, when you give, you see the file name, the associated size of the file, who has created, when it has created. So all this data is stored on the backend in inode, basically. Okay. du-ash, display disk usage in human readable format, display disk usage on current directory. Now cd, you all know cd, change directory, right? And basically cd ... come out of the directory, cd, go to the home directory, cd/test, change it to the directory. Very much simple. You need to remember these commands, to be honest, so that interviewer is not screwing you, right? So yes, let's go to the last slide. Linux commands, folders at one place. Now, if you see, very, very much important. So you see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are so many folders under that. And in the root folder, when you say /root, what are the subfolders you see? /bin, /etc, /sbin, /user, /var, and /dev. Right now you see /dev, /home, /library, /mount. This is one entire stack. But if you see the /user and all those things, these are like under /user. Now /bin, if you see, what are the commands or binaries for our softwares or our processes to run? Bash, cat. So when you are using cat, you should remember that when you are giving this command, it is hitting the bin folder and hitting this cat. chmod, copy, date, echo, grep, gnzip, gunzip, gzip, hostname, kill, less, ln, ls, whatever the commands you are using, these all are coming from your bin folder. So when you are hitting, let's take mkdir Praveen folder, it means your command is going to the bin and it is hitting the binary of any one process, right? Now /etc, configuration related files of the system, cron tab configurations, fonts, fs tab, host configuration, host name. So in etc, all the host related things will be there, and configuration of the system related things will be there. Network password, right? Profile, RPC related things. SBin, essential system binaries, essential user command binaries. So this is basically user related things, system related things. fdisk, fsck, file system check, file system disk, halt, if config, init, make file system, mkswap, make file system swap, reboot, root. All these are system binaries. Right, these are all user binaries. Now if you see read only user application support and binaries, user bin, user include, user lib, user local. Now what is this? Read only. All this are read only, right? Var folder, very much important, variable data files. You usually store here the log files. See, cache files, library files, log files, op files, anything which is your variable data will be stored here, temporary file system, right? /dev device files, very much important. /home, user home related things, libraries, kernel modules, mount file systems, whatever the disk related things will be here. OPT optional software applications in all our Linux systems, in all our organizations. We deploy the softwares in OPT only. Proc, process related things. I told you, right? Process related things. And root, the home directory of the root, right? With this, I'm completing this class of day 12. Very, very much important. I hope I'm making it sense. Any questions, any queries, comment in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer you. And do join the Prime 4.0, which is very, very much important for your next phase of journey. This is Singham signing off. Meet you in another video. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care. All the best for your job search. Bye.